say anything.
Oh,
Huh.
I was going to go to Neely to.
Go ahead, Patrick.
Good afternoon. This is the Town of Hempstead Board of Appeals, March 25th, 2026, 2 p.m. meeting. Mr. Chairman, do you have any opening remarks?
Before I do, I would like to ask, is there anyone here who is unfamiliar with the manner in which we conduct the hearings? Good. Then I have nothing to say. This is called expedited zoning board hearings. Go ahead, Patrick, start calling cases. First, we're going to take any requests for adjournment. Do we have any?
Mr. Chairman, we do have a request for an adjournment on cases 172 through 17426 Franklin Square, 776 Holdings Corporation, and 790 Holdings Corporation doing business as Luxury Motors Club, also known as 790 through 776 Hempstead Turnpike. Mr. Benesso, just your name and address for the record.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. William Benesso for Celli Deegan Tirana, 333 Earl Ovington Boulevard, Uniondale, New York, here on behalf of the applicant, 776 Holdings Corp. and 790 Holdings Corp. DBA Luxury Motor Club. I was advised by Mr. Owens that there was an adjournment request put in.
Anyone else here on this? I think a few people signed in opposition.
Good afternoon, Chairman.
Good afternoon. Name and address for the record, please.
Hi, Bill. How are you? Hi, Margaret Kelly from the Community League of Garden City South. Address is P.O. Box 7229, Garden City, New York, 11530. We're requesting an adjournment today as I've placed multiple foils with the BZA as well as with the Town of Hempstead that have not been fulfilled as of yet. We did fight this the last time around, so there's quite a bit of documents that I'm expecting to come back.
How long do you think you'll need?
Depending on what your schedule is, I would say probably 5 to 6 weeks. I think you have 3 weeks to fulfill according to FOIL application law. I believe it's 3 weeks. So if we could go to the first week of May, possibly.
Mr. Benasso?
Yeah, unfortunately, neither of the two dates in May work for me. So I was going to say, and unless you are opposed to it, if we put it over to June, that would work for us.
Not opposed.
Okay. Patrick?
Mr. Chairman, June 3rd, 2 p.m.
Fine, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good afternoon. Any other requests for adjournment, Patrick?
Mr. Chairman, we do not have any further requests. First, we'll be calling case 171 of 26, Levittown, 4 East Village Green, LLC. Special exception to use part of premises for commercial kennel, Pets for Love, waive off-street parking, also known as 4 East Village Green. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes. Please take a seat. State your name and address for the record.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman,
Good afternoon.
members of the board, good afternoon. On behalf of the applicant this afternoon, 4 East Village Green, LLC, my name is Samuel L. Bifulco, partner with Son, Ward, Braff, Cochignano, PLLC, located at 333 Earl Lovington Boulevard, Suite 601, Uniondale, New York, 11553. Joining me this afternoon is the applicant, Mr. David Bernacci of Pets for Love Foundation, who has submitted this application in conjunction with 4 East Village Green LLC. And before I begin my presentation, I'd like to take this opportunity to express my appreciation to the board and staff for your attention to this matter. The subject premises is located at 4 East Village Green, Levittown, New York, 11756, known and identified on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map as Section 46, Block 397, Lot 19. The parcel is approximately 16,800 square feet in size and is situated in the town's business zoning district. On the east side of Jerusalem Avenue, on the south side of Constellation Road, north of Meridian Road, and west of Astronomy Lane. An aerial map, I'd like to, at this time, I'd like to pass up an exhibits package for the board's convenience, of which I'm submitting several exhibits, but first an aerial map designated as Exhibit A for your review.
Accept those.
The subject premises is located within the Town of Hempstead Municipal Parking Field designated as L3. There are 3 adjacent commercial buildings within the parking field. The building at issue in this application is the middle structure, which is an existing masonry building with an approximate footprint of 47 by 196 feet. The surrounding buildings within the parking field contain a variety of commercial uses, including a deli, stationery store, laundromat, and animal hospital. Pets for Love Foundation, the applicant, in conjunction with 4 East Village Green LLC, is a registered 501c3 nonprofit animal rescue, operating primarily within Nassau County. Founded in 2008 and led by Mr. Bernacci, the organization is entirely volunteer-run with no paid staff or board members, with a mission to rescue, rehabilitate, and rehome animals with medical or special needs. The organization is licensed as required with the New York State Department of Agriculture and Markets and maintains its license with a registration number of 349. The applicant proposes to retrofit a portion of the existing animal hospital to establish the proposed animal rescue. This facility will operate in coordination with the animal hospital, allowing for on-site treatment and care of animals within the organization's custody. Specifically, the application's proposal seeks to convert a portion of the existing structure on the east side of the building into the animal rescue.
What is the portion currently now?
Its last approved use was an animal hospital along with a daycare center. The daycare center is no longer operational and it's vacant.
But the portion that you want to make a kennel was last used, is that the daycare?
Primarily the daycare, but also taking over some of the animal hospital. A copy of the plot plan and proposed floor plans has been submitted for the board's review, which I respectfully request be designated as Exhibit B. The proposal contemplates the renovation of approximately 11,780 square feet, consisting of 5,890 square feet on the first floor and an additional 5,890 square feet at the cellar level. The first floor is designed to include a reception area, waiting room, animal preparation area, surgery rooms, grooming area, and other accessory uses. The cellar level will contain mechanical and storage areas, office space, a medical room, a TNR room, and other animal housing facilities.
What's TNR and
TN
what kind of medical space?
Sure, TNR, trap, neuter, and return, under which circumstances the animal shelter brings in animals and conducts TNR. Medical facilities to conduct certain surgeries in partnership and conjunction with the animal hospital that will remain intact next door.
So some surgeries are going to be in the cellar.
In the, no, the two surgery rooms are on the first floor.
So when you were talking about the cellar, you said mechanical storage, but somewhere in that litany, I thought you said some kind of medical services.
That is correct. There is a medical room in the cellar, which will be designated as, general, care of the animals. In the event that there's a non-surgical, procedure required, that room would be utilized for that.
So, like, for example, like, is it big? I'm just curious what you would do medically in a cellar, I guess.
Sure. I think that space would just, serve as to support as, as an ancillary space, as far as the exact use of the room, other than, caring to an animal, tending to an animal. If an animal, some of the animals that they bring in, they have certain illnesses, they have certain injuries. So perhaps if there was a damaged, an injured leg, a broken leg, for example, that doesn't require surgery, that room would be utilized as an ancillary space.
How big is that space, just out of curiosity?
That space is shown on the floor plans. I can pull up that up for you right now if you'd like.
No, I'll look at it on the plan.
Sure. With that said, to facilitate the proposal, the applicant seeks relief from the building zone ordinance in the form of a special exemption to permit operation of a commercial kennel within a portion of the premises and a waiver of the off-street parking requirements. As I mentioned, the premises is located within municipal parking field L3, which provides approximately 346 public parking spaces immediately adjacent to the building. The proposed animal rescue will operate 7 days a week from 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. The facility is expected to be staffed by approximately 5 volunteers during daytime and evening hours, with 1 volunteer present overnight. At peak times, the applicant anticipates 3 to 4 adoptions over the course of a weekend day. The use does not include a general retail component. All grooming services will be limited to the animals under the care of the rescue and not available to members of the general public. Of course, as shown on the proposed floor plans, all of the hatched areas are specifically utilized for the animals, which inherently generates a limited parking demand. In support of this request, I would respectfully bring to your attention the parking analysis prepared by Langen Engineering, Environmental, Surveying, Landscape, Architecture, and Geology, dated February 10th, 2026, which has been submitted in the exhibits package. I would respectfully request this be designated as Exhibit C. The analysis demonstrates that the projected parking demand associated with the proposed use is substantially less than the 48 spaces required under the code. At peak, we anticipate a maximum need of 9 spaces, 5 for volunteers and 4 for patrons. Moreover, the proposed use is materially less parking intensive than other uses allowable under the code, such as a restaurant, retail establishment, or office.
I just have two,
Sure.
question or two. Number one, just for clarification, is this being, is there any co-ownership with the animal hospital and this? Are they operating? I get it's, it's efficient by having them near one another, but are they otherwise operated together in any way?
Distinct entities operating in cooperation with one
So
another.
now, as it relates to the kennel, do they have one or more of their own vehicles that they use, that they'll store overnight to go and pick up animals or whatever? I know when you trap and neuter, that usually involves some kind of little van thing.
Sure. There are no plans to store any vehicles at the site overnight.
Okay. And then since they're operating independently as it relates to the kennel operation, which, as you said, sometimes there's injured animals, et cetera, and some kind of surgical facilities, are there provisions been made for medical waste, et cetera?
Yes, so the animal hospital is currently operating there right now. So they have all procedures and logistics in place for the use of, any medical waste. and the disposal of same in accordance with, any applicable procedures.
Right,
Again,
but that's why I asked if they were operated together or not. Do you have aren't you planning on having some medical facilities, right?
sure. So the animal hospital will be overseeing any related surgeries and medical procedures on site. So they would be responsible
On the
for.
kennel site or?
Correct. It's that space. Those surgery rooms will be operating as a shared space.
Oh, so that's why I asked the original question about if they were operating together or not. Because if they were, I can get it.
Sure.
If they're not, I was wondering how you would deal with your medical waste.
I would say that they're operating in cooperation, in conjunction with one another, but as separate entities and distinct organizations. So the animal hospital would be responsible for the disposal of any medical waste in accordance with any procedures that take place on site.
Okay, thank you.
In addition, with respect to the parking, I just want to note that our proposal of 48 stalls, requiring 48 stalls under the code, is significantly less than the last approval at the site, which was for the animal hospital and the former daycare, which required 61 spaces. So it's a net decrease of 13.
And did that have a variance?
So after various due diligence in the town records, I was not able to locate a decision for that 2021 maintain existing conditions plan. What I do have, and which I have provided to you, designated as Exhibit B, various notices of decision from 87, 97, and 2002, granting waivers of off-street parking, which I provided to you this afternoon.
Okay, so usually if we grant a variance, let's say you came in and you needed, in your case, it's unique, you need less spots. You need relief for less spots, for fewer spots. But if you needed relief for more, in many cases, you get credit for what was already granted. So like, if your actual shortage was, 40, but the business before you had a variance for 20, you only need 20 more variants,
Right.
So as far as you know, because I was thinking, oh, we're going to go down from 61 to 48, right? But it sounds like there was no relief for that one, so there's no going down. Becky, would you check that? Thank you. Okay, thank you.
With that information in mind, I would submit that the granting of this application will create a desirable feature in the character of the community. The benefit sought cannot be achieved by any other methods, as the subject premises does not contain any on-site parking. It's surrounded by municipal parking. The relief sought is insubstantial in light of the 346 publicly available parking spaces serving the site. And the proposed use will not produce any adverse physical or environmental conditions in the area, but to the contrary, will provide a meaningful community service with minimal traffic, minimal parking demand by caring for animals who would otherwise be homeless across the greater town of Hempstead community or under the care of the town. Finally, the hardship, of course, isn't self-created, as the lack of on-site parking is an inherent condition of the site. So with that being said, we'd respectfully request that the application be granted as presented. The application is consistent with the character of the surrounding community and will, output a positive impact on the greater area. So I appreciate your time, and I'm available for any questions.
That concludes your presentation. Are there any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. You'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Thank you.
opposed?
Members of the board, chairman, members of the board, thank you very much and have a great afternoon.
Two. Thank you.
Next, we have case 17526, Inwood, Jerry and Brothers Management Incorporated. Variance in off-street parking, proposed EA Teriyaki Restaurant in portion of existing building, also known as 450 through 470 Sheridan Boulevard. Please stand. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please take a seat. Name and address for the record.
Nothing to take away. I reduce them then because then we can have oversight.
Good afternoon.
But we don't-
Good afternoon, Chairman, members of the board.
Oh, wait, we can't hear you.
Afternoon.
On behalf of the applicant, Eileen Quinn from the law office of Sir Tillman Ballin, Adler and Hyman, 90 Merrick Avenue, 9th floor, East Meadow, New York, 1155.
Nope, it's off now. You got to speak pretty loud. It's harder to hear than you would imagine.
As a matter of housekeeping, public notice for today's hearing was performed in accordance with the town code, and affidavits of mailing and posting were submitted to the Board of Appeals office.
Okay, speak a little slower too, because she has to take it all down. Can you hear okay, Stephanie? Yeah, you got to speak louder if you can and slower.
Will do. This application seeks a parking variance for a proposed EA Teriyaki restaurant, which will occupy a vacant 1,400 square foot tenant space at Five Towns Plaza Shopping Center, located at 458 to 470 Sheridan Boulevard in Inwood. No other site improvements are proposed with this application. With me today is our traffic expert, Nicole Silvestro of TPD Engineering, who will discuss the parking accumulation study that was prepared for this application. The parking accumulation study and Board of Appeals precedent involving other shopping centers was submitted in advance of this afternoon's hearing.
Okay, can you lower it a little more than the microphone, because we're still having trouble?
Still?
And, yeah, just slower and louder,
Okay.
if you could.
Yeah, it might be better.
Yeah, because when you look down, you don't realize that you're, so.
Got it.
Just speak louder than you think you should.
By way of background, the subject property is situated at the southwest corner of the signalized intersection at Sheridan Boulevard and Doughty Boulevard. Based on our review of town records, it appears the property has been improved with an 11-tenant shopping center since circa 1960. Currently, the plaza is developed with a 22,500 square foot shopping center known as the Five Towns
Hold on, I'm sorry. How many, did you say 11?
11-tenant shopping
Don't forget,
center.
we're also trying to write notes, okay?
got it.
So I know you're just trying to do us a favor by going fast, but 11, and you said since about 1960.
Yes, that's correct. The shopping center has space for 11 tenants and is anchored by a family dollar store. The surrounding area includes a mix of commercial and residentially used properties, with other commercial uses to the north, northeast of the property, and residential properties to the south and west of the property. As previously mentioned, the applicant seeks to occupy a vacant 1,400 square foot space at the shopping center to operate an EA Teriyaki restaurant.
Is it predominantly takeout, or do they have seating?
There is some seating. I think it's
Do
has
you know how
about
many seats? I'm trying to start.
20 seats, I believe. Yes, 24 chairs and tables.
24 seats,
Yes.
did you say?
Yes.
Okay.
24.
And if you were to break down,
31 total with 7 chairs only. Yes, 31 total.
okay, so 31 seats. Miss First is a plans examiner who's been doing this longer than all of us. She started at age 4. But do you have an estimate of what percentage of the business is takeout? I mean, 31's not a lot of seats, so I got to believe there's takeout. And then in the answer to that, can you add in, I'm sure whether I assume they do DoorDash and all those things, which is part of the takeout idea, and an online orders, just how the business basically breaks out, so we can have that concept in our analysis of the parking need.
I do know that there is going to be takeout. I would have to check with the applicant, though, to get the exact breakdown of percentage of what would be
Do you have that?
takeout.
Are they here today?
They are not.
Do you have a traffic expert?
We do.
Okay, and have you spoken to in the course of preparing your materials, did you
Yeah,
happen to?
can you hear me?
I can.
Nicole Silvestro, 275 Broad Hollow Road, Suite 100 in Melville. We have coordinated with the client, and they did express that they are predominantly takeout. They do the Uber Eats, so they have all that. It's not a high sit-down type of restaurant. You don't see a lot of people.
Yes, I have
Yep.
it, and you'll get it in my presentation.
Yep, we can follow up after with the
Great,
exact split for that.
perfect, thank you. Go ahead.
So
See, I did that on purpose, to make you just have, not to trip you up, so you could just tell us your story.
All right, as previously mentioned, the applicant seeks to occupy a 1,400 square foot space at the shopping center to operate the EA Teriyaki restaurant. The vacant space was previously occupied by a retail clothing store. To allow for the new restaurant use, we are before the board seeking relief for the overall shopping center to have 135 parking stalls where 173 are required.
So 173 is what's needed for all 11 stores together.
Correct.
Now, do you know if there's any existing parking variance in place? I imagine there must have been in the past.
At least for our site, this would be the first variance.
For your site, but if it's being taken as a whole, Ms. First, I'm sure you're looking that up for us, because you're telling us the total site, when you add the type of business you're doing and the type of businesses that are being done in the existing sections, that the need right now is calculated by the business department for the 11
Building.
for the building as a whole, thank you, Mr. Chairman, as 173, and your business nets out the calculation in the aggregate to 135, right?
There, yes.
Okay, Ms. First. Okay, so, well, she's going to look that up to see what variance you're going to need from us, if you need the whole difference or if there's already in place 10 or something. So go ahead.
Okay.
Just to sidetrack a little bit, what was there or is there now?
Clothing.
Before it was a clothing retail store,
And
and they required approximately seven parking stalls. And for the new restaurant, it requires a total of 16 parking stalls.
Oh, so right there we have the difference of 9.
9. So you're technically asking for a variance of 9 spaces.
Yes.
Seems so, right?
And then the overall is between the 135 to 100.
We didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Say that again?
And then the difference between the overall is 135 to 173 required stalls. Thank you.
But for this use, it's only 9.
I know, she's going to look up what there is already.
All right. Here in the increase in the parking is de minimis and will not have a negative impact on the parking supply at the shopping center or have an adverse traffic impact. This will be further discussed by Ms. Silvestro. As previously noted, the site has been improved with a shopping center since circa 1960. Granting relief for the new restaurant to occupy the vacant space at the shopping center will not change the longstanding use of the property or the character of the area. As part of this project, our traffic engineer prepared a parking study which found that the shopping center has a maximum projected parking demand for 75 parking stalls. As such, granting the application will not have a negative impact as the existing parking supply of 135 stalls more than meets the maximum parking demand at the shopping center.
And I take it your expert's going to tell us about that now.
With that, we thank you for your time and attention. I'd like to introduce Nicole Silvestro.
Good afternoon, chairmen and members of the board. My name is Nicole Silvestro, and I'm a licensed professional engineer in the state of New York. My company, TPD Engineering, prepared a parking accumulation study in support of the application for the EA Teriyaki to occupy a vacant tenant space in the Five Town Plaza Shopping Center located in Inwood that was previously submitted to the board. Just a side note before I get into my testimony, you're going to hear me reference 152 stalls on site. So going back to there may not have been the best record in the town of what is out there. The 135 that she's referencing as existing was the last previously approved supply. But when we went out and did our field collection, there's actually 152 off-street parking stalls available right now. Yep, so there is a difference from that 135. That's just the last approved record plan that the town has.
Oh, so now you're going to need maneuverability and substandard size, right, Mr. Mueller? If you went from 135 to 142, you shrunk them down. No.
152. And the biggest discrepancy actually is because the parking that's provided in the rear of the building for employees was not included in that overall supply. So there's additional parking provided behind the building for employees that wasn't previously included in the record plans.
Miss First, can you just check that out for us? That's actually very useful.
I'm not seeing a variance for off-street parking anywhere. What I am seeing is a restriping of the parking lot in 1997, so I have to have a few minutes to look at the site plan.
Okay, and just find out if the restripe ended up with 152.
Correct.
And now we might need maneuverability and so.
Let me check.
In front yard, in backyard. Go ahead.
So just to touch on a few quick points from the study, as mentioned, the property in question is located on the southwest quadrant of the signalized intersection of Sheridan Boulevard and Doughty Boulevard. The center is occupied by an approximately 25,550 square foot strip retail plaza anchored by a Family Dollar store. Access to the shopping plaza is provided via 2 driveways along each frontage roadway. Based on field observation, as I explained, TPD observed a total of 152 off-street parking stalls that are currently being provided for the shopping center. In the proposed condition, EA Teriyaki would occupy a vacant 1,400 square foot tenant space in the 5-town Plaza Shopping Center. No site improvements or access modifications are being proposed at this time. The proposed restaurant is anticipated to generate fewer than 50 peak hour trips based on data published by the Institute of Transportation Engineers in the 11th edition of Trip Generation. Therefore, further analysis is not warranted based on guidance provided by both ITE and New York State DOT. For parking uses in the town of Hempstead, the following are required. 1 parking stall for every 3 seats, or 1 parking stall for every 100 square foot of building space, plus 1 parking stall for every 4 employees, whichever is greater. On the basis of square feet, 16 parking stalls are required for the proposed restaurant. Under proposed conditions, 173 parking stalls would be required for the overall shopping center. Therefore, a parking variance is necessary from the town.
Hey, quick thing.
Yep.
So the spots that you mentioned that
Mhm.
make up the discrepancy, 135 to 152, so those you said were in the rear.
Most of them.
Pardon me?
Majority of them. There are some discrepancies
So-
in front of the building.
Okay, so the plan we have has the 135.
Mhm.
So if we're going to consider that at all in our analysis, is it possible, I'm sure that this was created before that was discovered. So Christina, should we try to get an updated site plan ex post facto? So we have the 152 striped on here? Are they striped?
They are, yeah. And if you
words-
reference the attachments in the parking study that we submitted, there's a breakdown of the parking fields. They're separated by letters, so you could clearly follow along where on the site they are. And that table also provides the supply in each spot, so you could see exactly how many are striped out in each section. It only references the striped out stalls. Okay, continuing. The parking study, in order to determine the parking generation associated with the existing shopping center, independent of our proposed development, the maximum observed parking demand was recorded in 2025 while local schools were in session during the following times and dates. Thursday, October 23rd from 12 to 2 p.m., Friday, October 24th from 7 to 9 p.m., and Saturday, November 1st from 12 to 4 p.m. The data shows that the existing parking demand occurred during the weekday midday peak period when a maximum observed demand of 75 parked vehicles were recorded. In order to determine the need of parking associated with the proposed demand, TPD reviewed data published by ITE in the 6th edition of Parking Generation. Specifically, parking generation projections for the proposed 1,400 square foot EA Teriyaki were prepared utilizing ITE Land Use Code 930 Fast Casual Restaurant. Using the projected parking demand from ITE in conjunction with the observed parking demand for the existing shopping center, the anticipated overall parking demand was calculated. The calculations indicate that the projected peak parking demand would occur during the weekday midday peak period with a projected maximum demand of 89 parked vehicles. Therefore, it is anticipated that the existing field observed supply of 152 parking stalls would continue to accommodate the overall shopping center's parking demand with a reserved capacity of 63 parking stalls or 41%. Therefore, in my professional opinion, it can be concluded that the proposed project will not have a significant negative impact on site parking or circulation or on the traffic flows on the adjacent public roadway network. Thank you. Please let me know if there are any questions regarding the traffic testimony.
Variance and a height variance, neither of which are required here. The other one has to do with parking. If you'd like to respond.
We just give you a chance to respond to them. I don't know.
That's what I said. If you'd like to respond, I guess that means we give you a chance. Okay. Got it. I'll start screaming. This way, if my microphone is not on, everyone will be able to hear me. Certainly. No?
I actually got hot because it's fast. And it doesn't hurt. I did that. I go in this part. It's, it's not working out lately. Just throw it in the garbage when I get home. This is one of my favorite shirts. This is like my favorite not like my other plain button over here. And the thing with women's clothes, I told you, like if you have a blue suit and you're like a pair of pants or something, you can't just go buy another women's blue suit. No, but you can. I can't find blue suits. I mean, I go to Bloomingdale's, but.
Regarding the traffic comment, I don't think that the person who submitted it understood the variance is saying that we don't need more parking. Just based on reviewing it, they're saying if we think a variance is needed, we shouldn't have it because it's being 50% underutilized. So just regarding that comment, we're not anticipating needing more than what's currently out there. Just to clarify, we're saying the supply out there is more than adequate for the demand that we're projecting with the restaurant.
Understood.
You don't plan on responding to the height in front yard? I didn't think you would. That concludes your presentation. Okay, any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move that the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Both of you and anyone else who signed in on the case receive a copy of the board's decision by mail once it's rendered. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank
Mr.
you.
Mueller, you have some competition here now. Well, I'm thinking protege.
Next, we have cases 17626 through 17726, Levittown, BMG Levittown LLC, special exception for proposed place of public assembly and amusement gym in portion of the existing building, variance rear yard installed dumpster with 6-foot high enclosure, also known as 3695 through 3721 Hempstead Turnpike. Please raise your right hand. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please take a seat, state your name and address for the record.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. My name is Eric Snipes. I'm an attorney with Greenberg Traurig, 900 Stewart Avenue, Garden City, New York. Here on behalf of the applicant, BMG Levittown LLC. Present to my left, I do have Mason Pooled on behalf of my gym. Today's application seeks a special exception for a proposed place of public assembly and amusement, which is the My Gym Children's Fitness Center, in the existing retail shopping strip known as 3695-3721 Hempstead Turnpike, Levittown. We are also seeking a rear yard variance to install a trash enclosure at the rear of the building. And as I will explain in a few moments, the rear yard variance is triggered because the majority of the rear parking lot is a town municipal lot. The one thing I will say, the beauty of this application is we do not require a parking variance, and children will not be kept in the cellar here. It's going to be solely on the first floor.
You sure you wouldn't like to request a parking variance even though you don't need one? Today's parking day.
We'll see how the application goes, and then I'll reserve. So My Gym is the proposed tenant of the vacant 2,700 square foot tenancy next to Mathnasium. The property itself is owned by Levittown 3695 LLC. The premises is located at the northwest intersection of Hempstead Turnpike and Wantagh Avenue. It's approximately 1.6 acres with frontage along Hempstead Turnpike, Wantagh Avenue, and Oriole Road. The existing building is approximately 23,000 square feet, and it's presently improved with that existing retail shopping center, which includes Capital One Bank, as well as the drive-through ATMs on the west side of the property. If you've driven past the property within the last several months, you'll see that there's a tremendous upgrade to the facade, and recently the town parking lot was repaved. So there's a real effort by the landlord to beautify this shopping. So as I previously mentioned, and you can see this on the proposed site plan, the property itself does comply with the town's parking requirements. The trash enclosure is approximately 18 feet wide by about 10 feet in depth and will feature a 6-foot-high chain link fence. It'll be located at the rear of the building behind Capital One and right up against the paper property line that separates the premises from the town parking lot. I would note for the record, I did receive correspondence from Alfred Williams of 48 Oriole Road back on March 4th. I explained the location of the trash enclosure to him, which is what he requested. And in response, he stated that he was going to share the details with his neighbors to ease their concerns and, quote, "I look forward to your business taking occupancy in the store. Wish you the best of luck." So just turning to the My Gym, for those who are unfamiliar, it's a children's gym franchise that provides children from the age of 6 weeks all the way up to 10 years of age a place to learn, play, allowing them to develop physically, cognitively, and emotionally. It provides age-appropriate classes that feature gymnastics, sports, games, music, rides, swings, slides, and other activities. The classes have been developed through physiological, psychological, and sociological research into children's development. I just think, the success of My Gym speaks volumes. They have grown tremendously since its inception. It's been in business for over 30 years, operates over 700 locations in 28 countries on Long Island. My Gym operates out of Babylon, Plainview, Huntington, Stony Brook, soon to be Mineola, hopefully Levittown. With new locations coming in the future, with over 1 million children attending My Gym facilities throughout the world each year. So this location will accommodate approximately 7 to 15 children per class. The children are accompanied by a parent or guardian who often participate in the class. And then with a staff of 2 during any given shift, we anticipate the maximum number of people inside the My Gym during any given time will be about 26 people. And that includes the children. The classes or hours of operation will be 9:30 in the morning to 12 p.m. and then 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Weekends, 9 a.m. to 12 noon. There will be likely parties Friday, birthday parties, that is, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Those are usually held between 1:30 p.m. and 6 p.m.
Are you suggesting those hours of operation, should the board grant the case, impose them as conditions?
Yeah, you're fine with that, right? You're okay with it?
Which one are you asking about?
Hours of operation.
No.
Just because of shutdown and everything, if we go to 7, we're comfortable with those. 6:30, 7 p.m.
You heard what I said. Should the board decide to grant the case, would you be comfortable with those hours of operation being imposed as a condition? Or would you want to keep it open?
We'd rather, just based off of demand, we would love to be able to keep it open if that
Okay.
option is available for us.
Okay,
Yes,
so the
absolutely.
hours of operation, just for example.
Yes,
That's it.
those hours of operation are what we've seen throughout Long Island.
Perfect.
And what you currently propose, but you got to adjust to the
That's what
business.
we're anticipating, but obviously market conditions vary, and
Thank you.
that concludes my presentation. Happy to answer any other questions you may have.
Joe.
Busting Paul. Swish it in with the AFAP.
That's why I had to do it twice.
I know. Okay. Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Each of you have signed in on the case. Receive a copy of the board's decision by mail once it's rendered.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great afternoon.
By the
going to get
way,
the AFib.
counsel, that was the best non-answer of the day.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed?
No.
Next, we have case 8226, Belmore, Craig and Glenn Cohen, waive off-street parking, special exception for outdoor storage of commercial vehicles for landscaping business, also known as 2285 Bedford Avenue.
We do it on the button stand. Bend over, Joe. AFib, yeah. Shouldn't Joe. There's one concern.
My God, we're saving the best for last.
I was going to say, this is the
Mr.
old,
Mueller, I think Mrs. D'Amato would like some compensation if you do hire that young lady.
She did a good job,
you
didn't
did
she?
do a good job.
She
did.
had her head on the swivel, like she was
Yes.
very.
Yeah, she was good. I was going to say, this is the old age version of the last two presentations. Both two old overweight guys, one half deaf and the other one has mental problems.
But I heard you guys play a mean round of golf.
One
One of my colleagues.
Yeah, it's really ugly.
You're apparently busted by one of our colleagues.
Yes, I do play a mean round of golf. It's horrible. Bill, could you speak up, please? Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. William Benesso for Chelly Deegan Tarana, 333 Earl Ovington Boulevard, Uniondale, New York. Here on behalf of the applicants, Craig and Glenn Cohen. Mr. Cohen and Mr. Cohen are seated behind me to my right. They are the owners of the premises at 2285 Bedford Avenue in Belmore, seeking the relief before this board at this hearing. I imagine that the board is aware that this site and an application by these gentlemen came before the board back in 2018 and was denied by the board for the same relief. However, the application before you today is different from that prior application, and certainly in our opinion much better for a couple of different reasons. Back in 2018, my client's operation was definitely more active, and I'll get into that in a moment. Also, the house on the site was not what it is today. At that time, the house was really quite unattractive. Additionally, there was an office in the basement that was being utilized in addition to the residence. That is since gone. There is no office use of the building whatsoever. Yes, there is still a house. In fact, it is a residence, and I have photos for the board. It's a quite attractive residence based upon their upgrades to it. It is strictly a single-family residence. It was inspected last year by an inspector, and he confirmed that it is a single-family residence with one kitchen and one kitchen only. There is no basement use for any business operation. Yes.
Now you want to, so you have this attractive house, albeit, and no trash, no junk around, is on the first photograph, the house I'm looking at that I made a joke about the landscape. Now, is this where we want to put all the commercial vehicles?
The commercial vehicles are there. They have been operating the site in the manner that they are seeking permission to use it.
Wait, I just want to hold up one of the pictures. Where's the photograph I was just looking at?
Just got it.
No, it's just the house. Hold on.
The one
Because
without
I
the
want to know where
landscaping?
Okay, if you take a look at your plot plan,
I had a photograph a moment ago that just showed the house. Now, it wasn't this photograph. I wouldn't have said it needs landscape if I saw this.
if you look at
This
that,
one. See this photograph?
yes,
This is
that's the rear of the property,
Okay.
and back there is where the vehicles are stored overnight.
But in this photograph, they're not.
There are no vehicles shown.
Storage place, like
No.
I just can't see them. Okay, so this is where you want to put them.
Correct. If you look at the plot plan, they are parked on the side of the dwelling. The site plan that is prepared by Iannone Renaissance Associates. You should have that.
Well, why wouldn't they be in the back?
Because they keep it closer to Bedford Avenue so that there are residences in the back. So the closer they keep it to the front, the less noise and activity is heard. That being said,
Three shown?
yes, they have. I'll get into it in detail in a moment, but one of the things that has changed significantly is the layout for the site plan. At the last case, and based upon the transcript that I read, there was a significant concern about the use of the site because at that time they were proposing an operation where they actually had to back out onto Bedford Avenue. Now, the way they have redesigned it, all vehicles enter to the right or south side of the house, they go to the rear, and then they come back out the front through a gated area where they keep the vehicles. So there is no more backing out onto the road. Additionally, at the last hearing, they did not have the services of a traffic expert to look at the traffic on Bedford Avenue, look at the impacts that the use would have, and also because we need a parking variance, there was no discussion of whether or not the site can accommodate the needs of the use. The other significant difference is that their business has scaled back significantly. And what I'm going to describe to you now, they would accept conditions to imposed in the decision of the board. Should the board be inclined to grant the relief, they would accept conditions imposed to mandate all of what I'm about to tell you. So at this point in time, they have a total of 3 trailers, 2 dump trucks, which go out with 2 of the trailers, and 1 van that goes out with the 3rd trailer.
How big is the dump truck?
The dump truck,
They're like those giant
it's an
ones on the LA.
it's an F-450. Come up, you
Oh, they're those little ones that come around the neighborhood with the trailer on them?
Yes. Just explain.
Glenn Cohen, 2285 Bedford Avenue.
Explain what the dump trucks are like.
The dump trucks are
What are they called?
an F-450
What is it?
Ford F-450.
Dump truck.
Yeah. So I think it's got an 8-foot bed. Single axle.
450
Correct.
dump truck. Oh, there's one.
Single axle, two wheels on each side in the back, obviously 1 wheel on each side in the front, but a single axle.
Wow.
They're not, I mean, obviously, an F-450 is a more heavy-duty truck than a pickup truck, but it is not a heavy-duty industrial-type dump truck.
Can I just ask you to come and tell me if this is, I know we can't take this as evidence, this is for my edification. They're not cheap either way, by the way. Is that it?
Okay.
Let's see that.
I have one exactly like this and one, this is a 4-door.
F-4, that's a 450.
Two-door? Okay, so it's got a smaller cab.
It's that, one with a smaller cab and that one. Yeah, that's a good idea. Next time bring pictures. That's good, Mr. Vanessa, right? No, that changes the whole dump truck idea a lot to me.
Understood.
Look, don't you think that's a...
So we have 2 of those trucks, and then we have a van that takes out the other trailer. That is all they maintain on the property. The two F-450 trucks with the 8-foot beds on them, and the van. And then each one takes out a trailer in the morning. They operate from 7:30 a.m. until about 4:45 or 5 p.m. And what occurs is that the employees come at 7:15, they get in the trucks, and they leave. The trailers are already loaded. They leave, they go.
How'd they get loaded?
They are loaded the day before when the vehicles are dropped off at between 4:45 and 5.
In the PM?
In the PM.
Okay, and do they, I'm sure they must be diesel. Do they, the whole problem with diesels running. If they're loaded in the night, that's good.
Are they diesel?
I'll ask, but most of them.
Nice idea.
I'm told that one is diesel, one is gas. The van is gas. The equipment stays in the truck. They are not taken off. There's no refuse. There's no clippings. There's nothing that's brought back to this site. There's no equipment stored on this site. There's no debris that gets left on the site. The vans are loaded. When the equipment needs servicing, it's done off-site. When there's work to be done on equipment or other things need to be addressed with regard to the trailers or the vehicles, it's done off-site. The only thing that occurs on-site is the vehicles are stored there overnight, they go out at 7:30, they come back between 4:45 and 5 o'clock. They only operate from March 15th to December 15th. They are closed the rest of the time.
So
they are
during
only
the rest of the time, they're parked there 24/7, but they're not making noise and stuff.
Correct. They do not operate on Saturday or Sunday. They are closed Saturdays and Sundays. They work Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 4:45 or 5 p.m. And they have a total of 7 employees who go out with the vehicles. When the vehicles go out in the morning until they come back, there is nobody on site doing anything. And again, this is a condition that they would agree to. They do not do any servicing of vehicles. They don't service equipment. They do nothing on site. When the trucks are out, trucks come back, they get put back behind the gate is locked, and they leave. The 7 employees, I'm told by my client that they come in 3 vehicles. By the way, all the employees are either citizens or documented workers. They come and they get on the trucks, they go, they come back and they leave. They do not park on site. They park typically across the way on commercial streets. The house has a family of 4 in it. They park in the front yard, and it's a complementary use because when the vehicles are out, there's nobody parked on site. And when they come home and when they leave at night, the 2 spaces that are shown on the plot plan are available for the residents to park in.
What happens if someone comes home to try and back that thing in?
They don't back in.
They pull it on the other side and go around.
Correct. That's the main difference in the site plan. They used to have to back in and back out onto Bedford.
Okay, but, I mean, those 2 spots are a little troublesome because, let's see, is there enough room? I can't tell if that's a second fence closer in. Or, oh no, it's a dry well.
There is a fence
So all the way
parallel
back.
to the front of the.
No, I'm just thinking, what if the residents are in the spots when they need to leave? Can they back into the driveway and go out the
It does
other
not
way?
block the gate. The gate is on the right side.
I see.
And
I
it doesn't
see.
block the gate. So if the residents are still parked there when they're pulling the trucks
Still, you
out,
can
the
pull
trucks
out.
pull out without a problem.
I see.
So again, they are prepared to accept conditions that there be no more than 2 trucks, 1 van, and 3 trailers, no more than 7 employees, that the employees park off-site, that,
Wait, why do the employees matter to us?
well, in case there's concern about the amount of activity at the site,
I'm just trying, I just didn't know if I was missing something. Because maybe the cars, maybe these vehicles that issue have 2 people in them or something. But
Well,
the employees are not otherwise at this site, right?
No.
Only to pick up the
Employees
trucks.
come in, get in the vans and leave. Don't come back until 4:45 or 5 o'clock.
And they put their own transportation if they have it elsewhere.
I'm told again that the 7 employees come in 3 vehicles. The vehicles are parked off-site, on the streets in legal spots. Again, they're closed, they operate only Monday through Friday, closed Saturday and Sunday, closed from December 16th through March 14th. And they're prepared to accept all of those as conditions. I don't know that there's anything else to tell you about the operation. My clients are Belmore residents. They used to own the property that is now the Goddard School that I came before this board several years ago. If you know that site, that's a beautiful site, very well maintained and operated. And in fact, a very desirable use in the premises that in the area. They helped make that project happen. They moved to this site. At first, it was not what it is now. It was a more active site. It is now far less active, and they're prepared to keep it that way. They are basically planning on being here for a little, so to speak, a little while longer and then retiring. But for the time being, they want to be able to continue to use it under these conditions.
There's a camper that's shown on either Google Earth or, is that camper staying there?
Is there a camper on the site?
No, that's next door.
Looked like it was in your yard.
Our property,
Here,
our property is immaculate.
just answer
There's
the
no,
question.
there's no
Is there-
camper on.
Is
There's
there a
no camp-
camper on the
no
site?
camp.
Okay. Additionally, only the commercially zoned portion of the property is used in conjunction with the project, correct?
Correct,
Oh,
The
that's.
rear is about 40 feet deep,
correct.
and you do nothing in that area.
That's correct.
Thank you.
And that's where
That will-
the distinction is on the zoning?
Yes. Yes, it's a diagonal line that parallels Bedford Avenue.
Do you have a copy of the previously imposed conditions for this property?
It was denied.
Nice.
It was denied. The prior relief was
No
denied.
condition.
Request,
By Christina with a copy of the ones that you.
sure. But the prior application in 2018 was denied.
So, Mr. Vanessa, if it was denied, why are these trucks still on the property?
Pardon?
If it was denied, why are there commercial trucks?
Because they have been using it
So
illegally.
in other words, they've been using it illegally all this time
That
in
is
spite of us denying it.
That is correct.
And the other question,
Well, let
and
me
the other
let me
que- and
answer,
the other
elaborate
question,
on that.
I,
They-
no, I just so you could, I'm not really, I just want to tell you the two things on my mind. And the other thing is, do your clients own this landscaping business or they just use it as a rental?
They own the landscape.
Okay, that was the other question I wanted to know. Thank you.
They did appeal the proceeding and they lost in the Supreme Court. So that added some time to the.
Mr. Benes,
He said condition, they're not going to use it then.
I believe it was
that we weren't arbitrary and
2021.
capricious.
I'm not denying that. They
Mr.
have,
Vanessa.
they have continued to operate on the site. That said, they have scaled it back significantly. And when they came to me, I did not represent them the first time around. I would have had a traffic expert here had they been using me. I told them that they would have to change their site plan because you can't be backing out onto Bedford Avenue. And I told them you'll need the services of a traffic expert because you are asking for a parking variance, small as it may be, but nevertheless, you need that kind of testimony.
Mr. Benesso, so, but if I understood you correctly earlier, they're using it now and proposing to use it now in a much less significant way than they were previously when they were using it illegally and when they applied earlier, or no?
They are still using it illegally, but yes, it is a much scaled back operation than what was presented in 2018.
You know what the state law says. Can't treat you differently because you did it in advance of approval.
Yes, I do, but I don't like to flaunt that.
What?
Now, if I may, I'll have Mr. Mueller provide his testimony.
Mr. Mueller, you have previously been qualified by this board as a traffic and parking expert on numerous occasions. Since the last time we qualified you as an expert, have any of your qualifications changed?
No, they have not.
If not, we will again qualify you as a traffic and parking expert, and you're free to testify.
Thank you. For the record, Wayne Mueller, R&M Engineering, offices at 50 Elm Street, Huntington, New York. We previously submitted a traffic assessment of the subject property and the use of it, which is dated February 20, 2026. I provided additional copies for the board today, and essentially what Mr. Benesso has indicated before the board this afternoon is correct. The way that the site plan has been redrawn to have a counterclockwise circulation around the property would cause an orderly and safe and efficient manner in which the vehicles traverse the site. Essentially, the cars would come in on the southern end of the property, or the vehicles, excuse me, they would traverse into the back and then come out, face out onto Bedford Avenue. As Mr. Benesso indicated, and as indicated in my report, we saw a relatively low number of vehicles associated with the use on the subject property. There were no significant conflicts with the traffic on Bedford Avenue. The subject property is zoned business, a large percentage of it. As the board is aware, there are other uses permitted fully within the code that could be put on this property that would generate a significantly larger quantity of traffic than that being currently being there as based on the landscape business and the single-family residence. So therefore, it is my professional opinion that by the improvements to the plan that are before the board this afternoon, and due to the relatively low impact and the low activity generated by the subject property. It is my professional opinion that by granting this application, there will be no undue traffic congestion and/or hazard, and that with the conditions that Mr. Bonesso is offering to the board as far as the level of activity, it'll continue to be a very low traffic generating facility based on those factors. In addition, when my staff went out and looked at the property, and as indicated in the pictures presented by Mr. Bonesso, this is probably one of the cleaner landscaping yards that I've seen in all my experience with landscaping yards. There was not a lot of debris or piles of materials all around the subject property, which again tends to reduce the activity because there's no unloading and loading of the materials. And that is my testimony.
Mr. Chairman, other than that, I would just point out, I am aware that there are 2 emails that were sent in. One is anonymous, one is not, apparently from people living in the nearby area. They both cited traffic in the area as being a concern, the proximity of a funeral home, proximity of the library. As Mr. Muller pointed out, this site is a business zone parcel which could have a use on it that would generate far more traffic than what we have just described. And with the conditions that we're prepared to impose, again, only 3 trucks total, only 3 trailers, out 7:30, back 4:45 to 5 o'clock, no activity on site during the rest of the day, I think you can't get a much lower activity site than what we're proposing. And with the conditions imposed, the board would have the ability to pull them back in if they're not complying. So I think the neighbors' concerns are addressed by the modified plan and by the new layout, no backing out onto Bedford Avenue, which was proposed in the prior application. So I think their concerns are addressed by this new application. And by the way, the Nassau County Planning Commission recommended local determination.
You've addressed the 2 letters in opposition. So that concludes your presentation. Is there anyone else here on this application, ma'am? No? Okay. Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move that the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Bonesso, Mr. Muller, you and your clients will all receive a copy of the board's decision by mail once it's rendered. Thank you.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? This is, Joe, if you look at the letters.
Lastly, we have case 5026 near Flora Park, Karam Singh, also known as 95 through 23, 243rd Street. Mr. Chairman, there's an application for withdrawal on this case by the applicant.
Have you notified the Department of Buildings that they have done that and suggested that they issue summonses? What's the matter?
I'm so confused right now. She said that lady was here on some case. I don't understand.
Send in the dogs.
Yep, pit bulls, 2.
No.
Little break before decisions?
You need to speak to it.
We're not finished.
Huh?
That concludes the,
Nope. He's,
are we consulting?
I asked a question and
Consulting.
Patrick's getting consulted.
Nancy just said she's here on that something business. What's the
All right, Bill.
Mr. Pellegrini, it
Yes,
was
sir.
referred back to the building department with a note that
Say that again, I'm sorry.
it was referred back to the building department for them to go out and have it inspected. They can't withdraw the actual application for the maintain from the building department until there is an inspection, and then they remove the items that they're in violation of.
Appropriate action will be taken.
So it is with the building department, but it's, for our purposes, it's no longer with us.
Okay, thank you.
Now can I say it? That concludes the afternoon calendar. We'll come back in 15 minutes. We'll take a short break and we'll make some decisions, I hope.
Yeah, no, but I use that when I was typing, and I would do it from here to my side.
Oh, I went from
Yeah.
there. Because I had.
You know, maybe I did.
China's gross. Me too. Oh, I did 6 months.
Okay.
But I was
I was-
40.
5-year
I was an exclusive.
non-transferable.
I was
I
not
me too,
bonding.
so that's what I had. No, no.
Okey dokey.
All right.
All right. It's decision time. Head up, boogity, 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 shoe. Case 171 of 2026, Levittown, 4 East Village Green LLC, special exception to use part of the premises for commercial kennel, Pets for Love. Waive off street parking. Property address is 4 East Village Green. We need a secret determination.
I move on case number 171 of 26 for East Village Green LLC, that we adopt a negative declaration as to the secret determination based on testimony given, exhibits in the file, and other materials we have reviewed and analyzed.
I second the motion.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And on the motion and on the case itself?
On the case itself, I move that we grant it.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Cases 172, 173, and 174 have been adjourned to June 3rd at 2026 at 2 p.m. Case 175 of 2026, Inwood, Jerry and Brothers Management, Inc. Variance and off-street parking, proposed EA Teriyaki Restaurant and portion of existing building. Property address is 450 through 470 Sheridan Boulevard. Secret determination is not made on this one either. Can I have a motion on the secret determination?
Yeah, I make the motion. I move that we adopt a negative declaration.
Okay, great.
Secret determination based on testimony given, exhibits in the, okay. Exhibits in the file and other materials we have reviewed and analyzed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Now, on the case itself, do I have any discussion? If not, do I have a motion?
Yeah, I move that we.
This was a 9-seat variance.
Oh, wait, I was wrong.
9-seat variance.
Yes, okay.
Okay?
What I said earlier, so the other one I wrote 4 + 5.
No. All right. Mr. DeGrace, you
Yeah.
wanted to make a motion?
Yeah, I
sir?
move that we adopt a negative declaration as.
No, we did that.
All right, I move
Did
the case, yes,
Be approved?
as requested, granted as
Second.
requested.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Cases 176 and 177 of 2026. Levittown BMG, sounds like Biggie Smalls. BMG Levittown LLC, special exception for proposed place of public assembly and amusement, a gymnasium in portion of an existing building, variance for a yard, install a dumpster with a 6-foot high enclosure. Property address is 3695 to 3721 Hempstead Turnpike. We need a secret determination on this one.
I move that we adopt a negative declaration as to the secret determination based on the testimony given, exhibits in the file, and other materials we've reviewed and analyzed.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And on the on the case itself,
I-
or the cases?
What?
Can they get financing?
5-year grant.
Aren't they subject to a yearly inspection for public assembly?
I mean, if they are, then you're right, 5-year wouldn't be necessary because it's all about oversight.
It's my understanding, they have a public assembly division up there. The public assembly is a temporary grant from the building department.
Okay.
So I think
Okay.
that there is a mechanism in place to.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I just, the applicant testified that they take children 6 weeks old to 10 years. What the hell do you
Parents
teach a
stay with them.
6 week? What do you do with a 6-week-old child?
I'm wondering if you just
Nothing
like hold
much.
a rattle and.
Hold the
Yeah.
baba? I
Yeah.
mean, that's
Yeah.
it.
I did it when like he's like 6
They
months.
roll.
And even
They
then,
have
they can't do
trouble
much,
rolling.
but you
It's a
lift him
gym.
up and down.
It's
and
like
you-
They bench press the
Yeah,
baba. Okay,
You bench press.
Okay, I
bench press the baba. Okay.
Case 176 to 177 of 26, Levittown BMG Levittown LLC, located at 3695 to 3721 Hempstead Turnpike be approved as requested.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Case 82 of 2026 Belmar, Craig and Glenn Cohen, waive off-street parking, special exception for outdoor storage of commercial vehicles for landscaping business. Do I have any discussion?
I have, my opinion is that, nothing's changed since 2018, and that it's a bad application and it shouldn't be granted.
It was my understanding that it's changed significantly.
It's my
They
understanding.
redirected the traffic so that it
All
didn't
right.
back in. They scaled back the business significantly. I don't know.
I'm gonna
I
hold-
was okay with the way it is, but I'm good with
I'm
inspecting
going to
it.
hold a case because I want to inspect it. I
Okay,
note that the traffic, and I've gone on Bedford Avenue far more than I'd like to admit, but at least the north side of Sunrise Highway is
Yeah, just.
cluttered, to say the very least. So I want to inspect that. We'll hold that. Yes. If Mr. Pellegrini, would you be inclined to inspect Belmore?
If the board so desires.
I too will inspect, rather than rely on your expert
You know what I'm saying?
opinion. All right, case 50 of 2026, the Floral Park, Karam Veer Singh. We understand the application has been withdrawn by the applicant, and the appropriate actions will be taken by the building department. Okay, and there were a number of conditions that, God forbid, or number of conditions that were offered by Mr. Benesso in the event the board ultimately decides.
Correct.
With respect to hours, no Saturday, Sunday, so many employees,
Yep.
no storage of plants.
Correct, the only storage on site is of the vehicles, period.
Right, and no loading and unloading,
That's true.
Yep, so I have no activity on site as well.
except in the evening.
I also have the month when they're closed and open.
Mar-
Throw that in
March,
if the board's
March
inclined.
15th to December 15th.
Exactly.
Wait, look. Joe's right, this is secret. 70 Charles Lindbergh, Barrington Ave Street.
Which one is this?
It's not relevant, just distracting the.
I'm sorry.
That's the norm,
Look,
is
it's
it
a
not?
CEQA. Joe, I go, who wrote purpose? I know it's Joe's writing. A CEQA count, 70 Charles Lindbergh LLC, Barrington Off Street parking. Joe wrote what business?
It's an office building.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about the reserve calendar?
Reserve.
Let's go to the videotape on the reserve calendar.
I know this one you have to, you wanna present that. We have, Patrick's going to present an email that was, emailed over.
State your name and address for the record.
Do you swear?
So we received an email from Mr. Benesso with a set of conditions that the clients are prepared to agree to for the property at 1440 Prospect Avenue, Jewish Heritage Center, Queens and Long
Number
Island.
247 of 2025.
Mhm. So, number one, they will slide the building south on the property towards the preschool property that they rent. This will increase the side yard setback variance they need, but as a side yard variance was already advertised, it will not require renotice or rehearing. In moving the building, they will be able to add 5-foot wide strip along most of the north side of the property, which can be used for landscaping and bollards or a guardrail to safeguard the backyards of the neighbors on Garden Lane. It will also move the building further away from those properties, providing less of a visual impact. 2, they are willing to accept conditions on activities and hours of operation and activities that the board typically imposes on Jewish places of worship. In addition, they offered 2 additional acceptable conditions to address specific concerns raised at the hearing before the BZA. The terrace area on the second floor seemed to be a point of concern, and I asked that if they would remove it. They said it was proposed because the first floor below that extends further than the second floor, so that they proposed the terrace. They said that they could extend the second floor, but that would increase the overall square footage and correspondingly increase their parking requirement. I asked if they would just make it a roof area and not a terrace. They said it is proposed to only be used by the staff so that they can sit outside on a nice day during breaks or while having lunch, etc. Instead, they said they would accept a condition that it be for the facility staff only and limiting its use and occupancy to no later than 5 p.m.
Wait, Patrick, this is a second level terrace, right?
Correct.
And is there a first level terrace?
There is no first level terrace.
Is there a yard below this terrace?
There is a parking lot.
Because I'm just trying to figure out,
So-
can't the staff sit somewhere else?
It's on
Oh,
top
I
of
thought this
building,
was the one where
correct?
that
It's on top
deck
of
went
building,
out.
correct.
Isn't there some other place that the staff, is this the one where the neighbors don't want them looking in?
Correct. But they were willing to accept conditions on how long they're able to use it and limit it to only staff usage, not anybody that's actually going
How's
there
that
for the
gonna
center.
be policed?
It's like everything else.
It's not.
B, regarding the preschool daycare activity proposed for the site, they would agree to a condition that child drop-off and pickup be in the rear of the building only. If desired, they can designate 1 or 2 parking spaces for such purposes during the hours when these activities occur. By doing this, with the long distance between the curb cut on Prospect and the drop-off pickup area in the rear of the buildings, no cars will be stacking out onto Prospect, as we presumed without basis by Mr. Lady. So those are what they are proposing.
Mr. Chairman, I think it's fine, and I'd like to vote on it.
Would someone
What
like,
was the level of opposition to the terrace?
The terrace alone, I don't recall, but I believe there were, about 15 to 20 individuals that signed in an opposition?
I think it was general opposition to, like, they were talking about when they park, that the lights would go towards their house.
This isn't the one where they were parking in front of that lady's house.
I
The
think this
street
is
is
like
the
the
side.
back.
No, because it's proposed, it's not existing yet.
Well, at least they're not asking for trailers.
But I remember the first woman who testified in opposition, she was nervous because her property, she has young children, her property abuts where the parking area would be. And that's why they're proposing the buffer zone with bollards and a guardrail to try to mitigate that concern. But
Makes
you'll
sense.
recall that Mr. Walsh represented the opposition, and the opposition, it was members of the community. So it wasn't just one person, one property owner. So there were issues going back and forth between the two attorneys because doing one thing that the applicant would agree to would upset certain fractions that Mr. Walsh was representing.
I believe there was a lot of, there was opposition, but people were opposing different points.
Correct.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, that's true.
What happened to the valet parking?
They did not submit that as part of the plan.
do they intend to?
That was not part of the subdivision.
They had submitted a.
They had discussed submitting a valid plan, which they never submitted.
This isn't on that list.
Jody, do you look at this property?
I'm very familiar with it.
What do you think?
Wait, what? If you're waiving off-street parking,
Oh,
why do you
okay,
need
you want to go
insufficient waiver?
outside.
I will.
Got it.
And especially accepting parking in the front yard. Because I understand.
Because I
Because
think
you have
that
no
all
legal
the,
spots.
correct, so they are providing parking on spot, none of which are legal. So that's why it's considered a complete waiver, because nothing proposed is legal.
Okay. Somebody want to make a motion? Mr. Plumer? Want to make a motion?
I make a motion on case 247 of 25 East Meadow Jewish Heritage Center of Queens and Long Island, special exemption for.
No, CEQA.
Oh,
CEQA first.
sorry. I didn't even see that. On case 247 of 25 East Meadow Jewish Heritage Center of Queens and Long Island, I move that we adopt a negative declaration as to the secret determination based on testimony given, exhibits in the file, and other materials we have reviewed and analyzed.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any
On the
opposed?
case 247 of 25 East Meadow Jewish Center of Queens and Long Island, I move be granted with exceptions in the email. With conditions.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Make a note that Mr. Pellegrini is absent.
As is,
Joanne.
Ms. Adams, yep. Okay, yep. The next two, we don't have an update for.
Okay.
No application's been filed for the garage. I will follow up via email because it's now been over a month with no action. The second one, we're still waiting for the building department to get back to us.
Okay. Case 112, we're going to continue to hold.
Okay. Cases 115 through 117, I actually spoke to the expediter today. They are in the process of updating their plans and filing for the ACs. Same thing with respect to the next case in the back, cases 122 and 123. So we're still waiting on that. Okay, cases 124 and 125 of 26 Woodmere. The applicant did provide the amended plans as requested that showed the egress windows. They were reviewed by the building department, and the plans examiner, Mr. Albert, confirmed that no additional variances were triggered by changing up those egress windows.
We have a motion.
124 through 125 of 26. Let's just see here. There is a second-story balcony, a roofed-over open porch, and a deck. And there's also a generator. Those are the two cases, both of which.
I had inspected this and I thought it was fine at the time.
24 to 25. 124.
All right. You want to make a motion?
Sure.
Make a motion.
I make a motion on 124 of 26 to 125 of 26 Woodmere. Karen Gordon variances, lot occupied, front yard setback, etc., be granted as requested with conditions. I was going to say that at the end. With conditions.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Case 144 of 2026, I did go back and this is the height issue, but it's the one on a hill.
Correct. The crown of road, I believe, is 4 feet lower. It's 4.06 feet lower than the grade of the building, and I believe the dwelling was under 30 feet.
Correct. So
From grade, you mean?
From grade, yep, correct. And again, there was that significant, as was testified to.
off the record.
We want to give it to someone who did it.
Spend the money.
Well, this is not, this is proposed.
Yeah.
This is to construct.
Yeah, they've got a demo an existing home.
Oh, yeah,
Yep.
you're right. It
So
does say
this
it
one
at
is
the
to
end.
construct a dwelling with
Yeah.
garage.
So the height doesn't bother me.
Okay.
Lot area occupied. I
Ready to
mean,
make a motion on the new?
I would appreciate if you would.
Okay, well, as everyone who's inspected this has indicated that this case, despite our hesitance and our reluctance to usually grant a height variance, that in this case, given the disparity between the crown of the road and the grade, and that it doesn't actually, in fact, exceed 30 feet to the ridge from the grade, I would move then at that case 144 of 2026, 7 Jefferson Street in West Hempstead be approved as requested, and that the council maybe distinguish it from other potential
With new
height.
home conditions,
With new
right?
home conditions, council distinguish from other
Sure.
houses with potential height requests.
Second. Aye. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay, I have,
Yes.
all right, so.
I quit getting so stressed out about my daughter's stuff.
There was an Article 78 brought by the neighbor. I've got plans over here.
Which case?
Okay, this is Keller. You recall Keller, not me.
Helen Keller?
I see.
Blinky Keller.
Okay, so, Point Lookout.
Ah,
The board granted this case. It was actually less than what has been granted in the area with respect to lot area occupied. It didn't trigger any height variances or anything like that. It was presented by Mr. McKevitt, and you'll recall that the neighbor had an attorney who brought like a land surveyor, an expert with them, and opposed the case. Following the board's grant, that they could reconfigure the house. Yeah, so that they could reconfigure the house, move it slightly, this, that, the other
The
thing.
person wanted it moved from where it is. That was their issue.
They just wanted changes. They were unhappy because it's gonna block this, that, the other thing.
yeah.
But nevertheless, the board granted the case.
Was it height?
No height,
No height.
no height. But
No
it was
number of
lot area
stories?
occupied, let's see here. They were asking for 49.18% lot area occupied, and it was less than other homes in the
Yeah,
area.
it's not that high, it's not high
Correct.
for that area.
It needed a variance for rear yard setback. They were proposing 10 feet.
Wow, it's big in.
Yep. And also, a 5-foot front yard setback to house, where the average is 5'5". They were proposing 2 to the porch, and 5 to the house, and also needed a side yard variance. But anyway, the applicant and the neighbor, subsequent to the litigation, got together, they spoke, they wound up redesigning the house that now the neighbor is happy with, and they will withdraw the litigation with these plans. I did ask the plans examiner to review the plans to confirm whether or not any existing variances were enlarged. They were not, or if any new variances were triggered. They were not. So it has been sent down to us for administrative review. I think due to the pending litigation, it would be prudent for the board to amend the decision, because again, now it's lesser relief that's being, that they're requesting than what we granted. Additionally, the petitioner will now have a decision which references the appropriate plans. And in lieu of the litigation, time has lapsed and the clock is ticking for the applicant. So the applicant will be able to restart the clock and, go through with their building permit, et cetera.
Okay, and any changes that they made that might have moved it closer elsewhere are as of right anyway.
It was
no new variances. So like the neighbor next door, like, wait a minute, it wasn't there, or I would have come in. No, you wouldn't have come in because there's no variance required for that.
And that's why I always ask the plans examiners to see if any variances are enlarged or new ones are triggered. Because if something is enlarged, that's important, I think.
Of course,
but
it's material.
This was not. None of the plans. So my suggestion, I think.
Wait, what do we have to do? Adopt what? We have to
I think what
approve new plans or what?
I think what we need to do is do a modified decision reflecting the new plans.
Okay.
That's what I think we need to do, but let me just get the case number.
Modified.
Yep, I would just do a modified plans. It's the same condition.
Need the plans
but
date.
new plans. What do you think?
Modified decision. New
I
plans.
think it's good, because I wasn't listening.
What was the date of the plans to reference them in the case number?
Yep. Let's see. Please tell me they. No, I'll find out when they were uploaded. I know they were physically brought to us, but they don't reference.
Case number?
Yeah, we need a case number.
I just want to, however I can reference these plans.
You can say recently submitted. When I reference them, I'll reference, they were uploaded to the portal yesterday. So you can write that. They were uploaded to the portal yesterday.
324. 26.
BCA here. Okay.
We still
It
on
is
camera?
case number 428 of 25.
And the name is?
Stephanie Keller, here you go.
They're gonna be like,
All my fans out
they're
there.
gonna be like, what's wrong with that?
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I would make a motion that as it relates to case 428 of 2025, affecting the property located at 97 Hewitt Avenue. Are they avenues in Hewitt? Point Lookout, It's the case of Stephanie Keller, that the board adopt and board modify and adopt its original decision to reflect the plans, that the construction is approved pursuant to the plans that were uploaded to the BZA portal on 3/24 of 2026, which have been examined by the relevant plans examiner and determined to need no additional variances, and likewise to need no increased variances as to the ones that were previously granted. So any changes that were made as of right, and need no approval from this board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Did I hit everything?
Again, it's the same conditions, and I have my little